People are like sending videos you've done. And so you're now famous and my team is obsessed. And so I know you guys know this and you love Jordan. And I just want to say congratulations. Like y'all have absolutely been on fire and I know are still on fire. She was telling me about all these people ranking up this month. And so for those of you that are ranking up in November, in December, that is my favorite time to rank up. I ranked gold in December of 2017. Don't let anybody ever tell you this is the slow season. This is, we'll pick back up in January. That is hogwash. What you think about, you bring about, you guys. And I love this season. People are on social media. People are spending money. People are feeling fat and needing something to feel better, right? Like this is just the perfect time. So throw all those excuses out the window. And I really just want to give you guys some tips. I do have 5 children. My youngest is 4 and my oldest is 14. And just I'm dealing with a lot of life right now, a lot of life. We do travel sports, 2 different travel sports. I was just talking to my husband. I'm like, we need to be in 2 cities, 2 different weekends. Like, what are we going to do? Right. So we have all of that going on, plus running 2 diamond businesses. And, life is full. It's also heavy sometimes, right? And so I just want you to know that, like, if you're feeling like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this happen? I wake up and I feel like that all the time. And, I was listening to Emily Gibson train on this the other day, and I just thought it was so good. She said, everything is 50-50. Like you're going to have days where you wake up and you are like, Alexis, here I come. I feel amazing. And then you're going to wake up some days where you're like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, what am I doing? And that is normal. That is normal. But the diamonds, the leaders, the people that go to the top say, okay, I'm feeling this way. Now, what am I going to do about it? Right. And so I want to help you guys with the overwhelm and just kind of break it down for you. So I'm going to give you 3 things that I do every single day. I feel like I'm a watch person. I took my watch off just now to charge it, but like I feel naked without it, right? I don't normally wear earrings, but I know some people love earrings. I did a plexus training today, so I got fancy. But normally I have to have my watch on every day. Like I gotta have my sunglasses, usually on my head. I take them off for a Zoom because I live in Florida, and I gotta have them. But so without these things, I just feel like I can't function, right? So there are 3 things that I do in my plexus business every single day that if I don't do them, it has to happen. Like I don't not do them, right? Because I have lived and died by the principle, you guys, that if you put out the effort, the results will come. And, this business is not like, I always like to say, if you've been to a kid's birthday party, right? And, the kids are hitting the piñata and the 3 and 4-year-olds kind of sort of hit the piñata and they're tapping at it, right? And nothing falls out. And then like the 10-year-old boys get up there who've been playing baseball and they whack that thing over and over. And then it's this explosion, right? Well, you all have a piñata full of candy. And it is up to you how many times you want to whack that piñata, how hard you want to whack that piñata to get that candy to fall out. And those of you that are kind of just like tapping at it every single day, a couple times a week, you're not going to see the same results as the person that steps up, takes the metal bat and goes whack and really purposefully works their business. You see what I'm saying? And so how you show up matters. How often you show up absolutely matters. And so when I say focus on the results, focus on the effort and the results will come, that's the kind of effort I'm talking about. Not like, pussyfooting around, but like really stepping up intentionally, right? Okay, so these 3 things, you guys, I do every single day to show up intentionally, and my goal is to stir it up, to stir it up when I feel like nothing is happening, or, everybody's twiddling their thumbs. Like, what do we do? This is what I do to stir it up. And this is the order I do it in. Okay. So very first thing every single day is I do new reach outs. New people. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you need to be sending new triplex videos every single day. And Trisha Rager, my sponsor, and I, it's so funny. We talk all day, all the time, starts at 5 a.m, and days that we're like, oh, I don't know, nothing's happening. I'm like, Trisha, let's go send 10 new triplex videos. We'll feel so much better about ourselves. And she's like, all right, let's do it. And I'll find 10 new people to send a triplex video to and ask them their health goals. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I got it. I can do this. Okay. Right. Like, it just changes everything. Okay. I want to challenge you 10 new triplex videos every day. If you're like, I don't have 10 people, sister, you need to go find 10 people. You need to ask your current customers, who do you know that's got some health goals? I've got a challenge to send 10 videos of this triplex and get 10 people's opinions. So I need to send this to your sister. You see what I'm saying? Like, if there is not a door, you need to build one so that you can walk through it. And if you need to get that momentum going, if you're ranking up this month, I highly recommend that you set this as your goal at least 6 days a week, 10 triplex videos. Okay. And play a game with yourself. Like, tell your husband and your kids, we cannot watch the Netflix show. I cannot eat my, popcorn at night. Like, we're not going on the family walk until mom sends her 10 triplex videos. And you better believe they're going to find you 10 people to send those to. All right. But y'all, that's where the magic happens. So that's the first thing I do every day. And then the second thing that I do every day is I grow my network. Because what are you going to do when you run out of people to send triplex videos to, right? You got to grow your network. And if you were on the call today with Plexus, I talked a little bit about this, but what I do is I choose 10 to 20, if I'm feeling ambitious, 20, but 10 is a good number for me, people that I want to connect with on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, every single week. And it's kind of like dating. So, I copy and paste their link to their profile and I put it in the notes section of my phone. So when it's time to do this, I don't get distracted and try and find their profile, trying to remember their Instagram handle. And then I'm like, whoo, look at that Christmas tree. Oh my gosh. And then I'm watching her stories. You see what I'm saying? And we go down the rabbit hole. So it's really important when it's like, okay, time to grow my network time, that I'm focused on growing my network. Because I think a lot of people are like, I'm growing my network and I'm scrolling Facebook, right? And it's easy to do that. So in the notes section, I have like 10 URLs, right? And I can just tap on it. It takes me straight to their page. I do my interacting. Now, here's the deal. I give them a week. If they don't reciprocate my advances back, right, to make friends, off the list. I'm going to go find somebody else. Right. And so, pay attention. Like, are these people that post regularly? Are these people that have stories? If I'm on Instagram and they don't have Instagram stories, they ain't on my list, because I want somebody that's going to work this business and that's going to be intentional. They don't have to have the most beautiful feed. They don't have to have 10,000 followers or anything like that. I'm looking for people that post regularly, do stories if they're on Instagram, have good engagement. So like when they post, more than 2 people like their post, that they're posting like stuff that I'm into too, and not posting things I'm not into, especially right now with all the crazy on social media. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for kind of people who are my people. They have a positive vibe, right? And so 10 to 20 every week. And that's what I'm doing to grow my network. And then the third thing that I do every single day is I pop in with my runners. Now, if you're new and you're like, I don't have anybody working on my team. Okay, guess who those people are going to be? It's going to be your happy wholesalers. You're going to get in there. You're going to check in with them. Any little win, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, we got to share this on Facebook. You're going to encourage them to share. Like, your happy wholesalers are your future runners, because I was a happy wholesaler, right? And every time I would talk to Trisha, she's like, you know, you could totally share with 3 people, you know, you could totally do this, until finally I'm like, all right, tell me about it. But she did such a good job of really like building that connection with me and building that relationship with me. And so if you don't have a team yet, then that's where you're going to start, right? And if you have a team, what does it look like? It looks like I'm checking in with my peeps that are running, and I'm like, okay, tell me, what do you got on the books today? What's happening? I'm not a leader that's like, you need to go do this, 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 and this. Because I find when people take personal responsibility, and I know Jordan's like this too, then, you know, it's just, we're more effective, right? And so, you know, when you're checking in with people, it's, hey, how many triplex videos do you want to send today? Let's do it together. I'll send 10, you send 10, right? We're in the trenches together. And so I get in the trenches with people running for silver, people running for gold, whoever it is, right? And I'm like, okay, let's do this together, right? If you're going to send 10, I'm going to send 10. If you're going to grow your network by this, then I'm going to grow my network by this, right? Because the speed of the leader is the speed of the gang. So those 3 things, you guys, I do every day. And then, you know, if it's a day where people are returning product and I want to crawl in a hole and not check my messages, at least I know I did my things. And if you do your things, you're going to have less of those days and more of the like exhilarating days, right? That keep you going. Because you guys, it's so worth it. It's so worth it to show up over and over and to whack that piñata with everything that you have. You know, some of you have more time than others, and that's okay. You know, I don't sit down and work my business for hours and hours on end. I absolutely never have. I've never been able to, but I am the queen of the pockets. And at every sporting event, I get up at 5 so I can do it before my kids get up. You know, I look for the pockets. And when I have a pocket, I don't just sort of like tiptoe in the pocket and think about sending the message and should I send the message? And I don't really know. I show up ready to run, ready to serve, ready to like get the most out of my 5 minutes that I have, right? To explode my business. So those are my 3 things. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I'm here for it. So
I have a question. Okay, so
Katie, tell her who you are and your rank.
okay, I'm Katie Burns. I'm senior Ruby. And I'm kind of asking for myself, but also for some people on my team who have like hubbies that are starting to show interest in like the business. So we kind of want to know, how did that happen? Like, how did that work? As far as like you guys both working and all of that stuff.
Okay, so here's the deal. I highly recommend that you don't build under your husband until you're a diamond, like a strong diamond. Because now, if your husband wants to work his own business, awesome. Like my husband does not work his business. It's like Marianne 2.0, okay? So this is what happened to me. I was an emerald. I was a strong emerald. I was getting ready to go sapphire. And 1 month there was like some double bonus to go silver. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll get Drew silver. I'll just put 3 people under him this month. It'll be fun. We'll get $200 instead of $100, right? Well, Jennifer Cobb was one of those 3 people. And I then spent the next year, I had to stop building under me and had to go build under my husband. And that was really stressful to keep up with Jennifer Cobb. Now, it worked out in the end. Like, it's awesome. But it was really crazy. And so I always try and do a disclaimer, like, don't build under your husband until you can basically let your business be without you, right? So that you can then build him. It's like 2 different businesses, if that makes sense. But if he's going to work the business, awesome, like more power to him, you know?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who else has questions? Y'all, she is the queen of time blocking. She's the queen of just getting it done. She is ranked up quick. So what do you want to know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh,
Hey.
there's probably going to be an echo. Can you cancel out? Sorry, we have two Zooms in the same room.
No worries.
Okay, so Marianne, I've been following you on Instagram for a number of years. And I know that like your main platform is interior design, and I love it that you have such a strong brand. But my question is, how have you been able to utilize your social media to help you towards your success with Plexus in like such an organic way? Because for me, I'm still trying to find that brand and understand like what it is and how to build on social media. But when I look through your posts, I feel like there's not a strong presence of Plexus. But obviously you've done something. I mean, you're double diamond. So I'm just curious to know like how much you use social media, how much you depend on that, and how you've been able to incorporate that with interior design.
Well, here's the thing, you guys. It is my everything. I did not have a very good warm market when I started. I was in another company and forever, and then took lots of time off and had babies and was a stay-at-home mom. But my whole warm market was still in this other company, like my family, everybody. And so it was like major drama when I joined Plexus, and I kind of wanted to like crawl in a hole on Facebook. Because that's where they all were. So I was like, all right, what the heck am I going to do? Like, I don't have a network. And so Instagram was this like new space for me to build. Now, the funny thing is so many of these people have joined my team and, love the products and all of that. And there really was nothing for me to be scared of. But that's where I was 3 years ago. And so that's kind of where Instagram came from. And so it is my whole lead source. And so I put a ton of time and effort into that, kind of like Jordan, I know, does on Facebook and building connections. I do not think it is, and let me say this, because I know after hearing Jordan, I was like, I'm going to go do Facebook. That sounds so fun and exciting. Like, I'm going to join groups. But you guys, here's the thing. I feel like it's because I suck at Facebook. I'm really bad. I just am not, because I think it is very hard to chase two rabbits well. And if you are rocking Facebook and you're ranking up, it's not broke. Don't fix it. Okay. Keep doing what you're doing. All right. And same with Instagram, right? And so I kind of had to be like, no, Marianne, keep doing what you're doing. Like, it's working. And, most of my team actually works Facebook. So I was so excited for Jordan to talk to them, which is so funny. I meet them on Instagram and they all have this network on Facebook. So it's really important that you choose one. Whatever it's going to be. If it's going to be YouTube, it's going to be TikTok or whatever, or maybe it's a warm market. I mean, I have some people that like, they don't do anything on social media and they are warm market people, right? But I think you got to kind of figure out what is your jam, and then you got to pour everything into that. And so those are my 3 Plexus things I told you guys that I do, but I definitely spend a lot of time networking and building and doing my stuff on Instagram, but I also love it. And so I feel like you got to find things that you love. And that's what you have to build your brand around. And so, like, I'm loving reels and I'm sharing Plexus in reels. And I do think, like, Jordan, your feed is so good because there isn't Plexus everywhere, but when there is Plexus, it's intentional. And I try and do the same thing on my Instagram. So, because I need someone when they look at my Instagram to not just be like Plexus everywhere, right? Like, there needs to be other value as to why they're going to follow it. And I love home decor, and I could talk about pillows and rugs all day long. So that's easy.
Marianne, you are so good at systems. We have so many new people. Like, I'm actually looking at this Zoom right now, and I think we have anywhere from 5 to 10 girls that have signed up in the last 3 weeks that are just starting on this call.
Okay.
So, like, what would you tell them?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it took me 2 weeks to go silver. I know it took Jordan. I loved your story of silver. I posted on social media for 2 weeks. Nobody reached out to me. I was too scared to reach out to anybody. And then I finally put my big girl panties on and I reached out to people and I went silver. And I actually had 22 people join. in those last 2 weeks. So I did Fast Start Gold having nobody for 2 weeks. So when I say you put forth the effort and the results come, I know this to be true, you guys. And so I think the important thing is that you have to, if you have a significant other, if you have a family, you need to figure out what your non-negotiables are with them. So for example, when I first started, I was really excited and I would like hide my phone at the dinner table and I would be checking it. And my husband looked at me one time and he's like, this isn't going to work. Like we cannot do it like that. And so I had to figure out like, what do they need from me? Because I need to be all in with Plexus. And so I don't want to feel guilty when I'm with them. You see what I'm saying? So when it was dinner time, the phone, I was so addicted to checking it. I had to actually put it in another room, right? So I wouldn't even look at it. So I could be all in for 30, 45 minutes with my family. And then my husband and my kids were like, listen, you then go work for 30 minutes while we clean the kitchen and do that. And I released that so that then I could spend 30 minutes while they were cleaning the kitchen, and then we could all be back together again for bedtime. So can you have balance? Absolutely. Does it require you being the best version of you? Right? Yes. So figure out, those are your windows, you guys. Get your family on board and it will change everything. I promise you. So newbies, like the bonuses right now are insane. I mean, we got $175 when we went silver and we thought, holy cannoli, like this is so amazing, but you can make so much money right now. And, you have to think of your business like you're taking off in an airplane, right? You're on the runway and, you're going, but you're not at like cruising altitude, right? You're going and you got to get momentum and you got to get up to 20,000, is it 20,000 feet? I think, cruising altitude to then you can kind of be like, okay, got it. But until you get up there, it takes a hot minute and it's going to take a little bit of elbow grease. But once you get to that 20,000, and I still feel like I'm climbing, it just is awesome and it's totally worth it.
And it's so fun.
It's so fun. So fun.
What else y'all want to know? Maybe we can do like 2 more questions and then we will wrap it up. There's no dumb questions, I promise.
I have a question.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm Caitlin. I'm silver, very new. So I've been reaching out to like a lot of people, not 10 every day, but trying to balance full-time job plus doing this. How many times do you reach out to somebody and they kind of respond a little bit and then maybe they don't respond to one message and then you're trying to figure out, are they worth the investment or do I offer a sample? How do you kind of navigate that?
Caitlin, that is awesome. And here's the most fun part about Plexus. They all come around. Like they all end up coming around. It's so funny, but they might be like me. It took me 6 months. I like reached out to Trisha and everybody think about how long it took you. Like chances are it took a hot minute. You had to go to the event and read the testimonies, 2 years, Jordan, right? So the more people, we cannot control when someone's ready, right? Like they gotta be ready. And that's where I feel like this really isn't sales. This truly is relationships and network marketing because there's not like a hard close. They gotta be ready, right? Like they gotta be ready. So we can't control that. The only thing we can control is how many people are in our funnel. And the more people that are in our funnel, for everybody that's not ready, you're gonna have 2 people that are ready, right? And for me, it kind of took the pressure off because I was like, oh, I was almost feeling desperate. Like, come on, you guys gotta order, you gotta order, right? And I didn't want anybody to feel that way. And so I'm like, I gotta keep talking to more and more people. So when my best friend isn't answering my messages, how dare she ghost me? I'm not stressed about it because I got somebody else that I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying? And so, I am very like, once we get to pricing, they're either going to order or they're not. And if they're not ready, then yeah, I'm going to send them a sample. I'm going to invite them to an event, right? Anytime there's a sale, I'm going to be like, hey, listen, just sending it over to you. If today's the day, let me know. And so I am real kind of fun and casual about it, because when they're ready, they will order. They will order. So just burst that funnel full. I think that, to me, it makes it the most fun.
Caitlin, I want to add one thing to that is if they are starting conversations with you and they are writing back to you, like, that's great. Keep being their friend. Like, I love how Marianne keeps saying this is a relationship business, because it 1000% is. My best friends are on this call, and some of them I haven't even met in person.
Totally.
You want to do one more question? If not, I have one.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Marianne, whenever you're getting someone started, I get on the phone a lot to do one-on-one training. Do you send the training videos to newbies to try and help them? And if so, what are those videos?
Great question. So I have pre-recorded lives, 4 lives that I will tag you in, Jordan, that I think like you guys have, like we have a wholesaler page and we have a biz builder page. And so at the top of the biz builder page, it says start here. And it's just 4 videos that I did. So I'll definitely tag you in those, and I have them watch them. Yeah. And the reason I did it is because we don't have time to train every single person, y'all. Like, and most of the people on my team work another full-time job too. I mean, I'm sorry, I do work another full-time job. Like, I do not have a hot minute to do anything. And so my big thing is, hey, watch this video, and then I want to hear 3 things that you are super excited about, and then I want to hear all your questions. And so then, we'll start that, right? That process.
Yep. Okay. Y'all, go follow This Loud House on Instagram. You're about to get a whole bunch of new followers. I just want y'all to see how she does her thing. But like she said, if Facebook is your jam, stick with it. A lot of you, I still have a warm market in Facebook. I still sign people from Facebook, and I have been doing this for over 3 years. So anyway, Marianne, thank you for coming and sharing with us tonight on election night. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Everyone go in a corner and say a prayer now for our country and our sanity. Whew. Anyway, I love y'all. Thanks for being here tonight.
Guys.